NBC 10 News starts now.
Always nostalgic when one of the all-time greats comes back, right? Look forward to that tonight.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm WCAU.
And I'm Lucy Bustamante. Happy Friday. We have made it. Let's
Right.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. All right, let's tell you about this breaking news right now out of Southwest Philly. This is a fire going on right now at the Sunoco refinery. We do have a crew on the way. People who live there in that area, they say they heard a very loud explosion. You can see how big this fire is. Once again, the Sunoco refinery in Southwest Philly. Hazmat crews are responding. The fire department is en route. We're going to keep a very close eye on how this unfolds. All right, coming up, striking.
Same-day delivery.
We have breaking news this morning. This is a fire at the Sunoco refinery in Southwest Philadelphia. We're trying to gather as much information as we can. We've got reporters on the way to this fire in Southwest Philadelphia. People who live in the area said that they heard an explosion. We're working our sources, trying to get us the information that we need to share with you. But meanwhile, we have these pictures up, and you can see just how dramatic these pictures. This is a live picture right now from our crew that's there. We're calling hazmat crews. They're calling hazmat crews. The fire department is en route. They're not quite there yet, but this is obviously very, very serious. And we'll keep our eye on this situation. And of course, we'll get out information to you on the NBC 10 app as well. Meanwhile, in Decision 2020...
Right, Matt, thanks so much. Okay, we have a correction here. We've been calling it the Sunoco. This is the Philadelphia Energy Solutions Plant. Explosions are shaking people's houses. Once again, Southwest Philadelphia, people who live in that area, they say that they heard a huge explosion. It rattled their homes. They called hazmat crews. The fire department is en route. We also have 2 crews, and Skyforce 10 is headed there as well. So we're going to let you know as soon as everyone arrives and get you as much information as possible. But please keep in touch with us. We're going to be discussing what's going on there, not just on air, but on Twitter and on our Facebook page. So we're going to keep you posted, our various ways of communicating with you. Once again, there's a huge fire going on right now at Philadelphia Energy Solutions. Oh my gosh. Well, again, look at this, guys. Look at this video right now. You need to see this live picture. This is, I'm just going to say that they're probably going to increase the security warnings on this. It's too early to say. We haven't heard about any areas being evacuated or anything like that, but people have felt the shaking of their homes for miles. And so we are once again deploying 2 crews. Skyforce 10 is going to be flying over that. Once again, the Philadelphia Energy Solutions plant. It's been in the area for decades, and this has been a source of concern for people that have always, and we see this fight across the environmental scope of discussion, that these plants are necessary for modern-day society, but people who live by them always fear this exact event. So we're going to stay on top of it to figure out what caused this, if anyone is hurt in this situation at all. So far, no reports of injuries have come into our newsroom, but once again, you saw this. We showed you this at the beginning of our show, just seconds after it happened, and people started to call in and say, we just felt these explosions in our home. What happened? And this is the fire that has happened as a result at the Philadelphia Energy Solutions plant.
Yeah, because of social media, obviously, Lucy, we expect that people who are in the area, who can send a tweet and let us know through Instagram, whatever source you have. If you got pictures, if you know people, let us know. We use that. Of course, we'll double check and make sure our sources are good, and we're checking all our sources. Matt DeLucia will probably come back in here. He mentioned that they're setting off 76, the crossroads in this area. Of course, the Girard Point Bridge, the Platt Memorial Bridge, 95. They all intersect in this area. This is a very, very serious and dangerous situation as we see this refinery fire. Right. We're trying to find out exactly when this happened, when this started, but we're keeping our eye on this. This area is we're going to monitor this and
I'm looking at their website right now as well, Vi, and it says even on their website, refining has a risk. We must keep our people safe, minimize our impact on the community and the environment, or we will lose our right to operate. That is literally on the Philadelphia Energy Solutions website under the Mission and Statement tab. So I'm looking also at anything that they have posted maybe on their website to kind of alert people of what's going on. I'm going to send another message to their PR person here to see if there's anything that they can offer the public at this point. Her name is Charisse Corley. So hopefully we'll make a connection with Ms. Corley and just try to get some information as to what is happening at this refinery right now in southwest Philadelphia. And we saw not just one explosion that you all told us about, but the second one as we are on live television just minutes ago. So trust that we have many crews working this right now, and your safety is paramount to our purpose here. So as soon as we get more information that's going to help you stay safe, not just if you live in the area, but to be able to get to and from work as you're getting your day going. Once again, just minutes ago, refinery fire, excuse me, at the Philadelphia Energy Solutions plant.
Boy, we saw an explosion that happened just a few minutes ago, and it happened here on live television. It looked like a mushroom cloud. We'll continue to monitor the situation. Lucy, of course, will stay on the air and bring you the information as we get it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wrap.
It is just about 4:30 on this Friday morning, and we have breaking news this morning. This is in southwest Philadelphia. An enormous fire at the refinery there. People who live in the area said that they heard an explosion. They're calling hazmat crews to get there. The fire department, they're also en route. We heard from Matt DeLucia, who told us a moment ago that the police have shut off I-76 in the area. I suspect that more roads will be closed in the coming minutes and perhaps hours. Now,
Bill Henley just told us a few minutes ago that when we had that live explosion, the second explosion on the air, he actually heard it moments later. We were talking about this, so we didn't hear it necessarily, but people are reporting they could feel the explosion for miles. In fact, our own Vice President of Engineering here at NBC, Tony, joins us on the phone now. Tony Plas, thank you so much for calling in with information. What did you hear, Tony?
It was just a little after 4 a.m. Actually, walls shook in our condominium in South Philly, followed by a second one maybe 20 seconds later. Obviously got our attention. We thought it was maybe thunder at first, but with how it shook the walls, we got up, kind of looked out our windows, and it was pretty evident something bad had happened over at the refinery just due to the orange in the sky, and the flames were actually cresting over the treetops.
Hey, Tony, tell us how far you live from this area, and of course this is right in the flight line of Philadelphia International Airport. Planes are going to be coming in, probably arriving, the red-eye flights coming from the West Coast. But tell us, kind of give us an idea how far away you are from this area. Our Vice President of News, by the way, Angie Williams, also sent us an email, said that the most recent explosion, which happened maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, he said that it knocked items off of his walls.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, we are maybe approximately a mile and a half, 2 miles as the crow flies.
Okay.
Pretty much right over by the NovaCare Center. That second large explosion, I was actually watching out the window, saw it happen, and it probably took about 10 seconds for the percussion to get here, and again shook the wall pretty good.
Wow.
That's interesting because we're here in Center City, and Bill Henley was telling us that it took about 15 seconds from the time that it happened for us to feel it here in Center City, and we can see the smoke here in Center City wafting across the sky behind us.
That's right. We have crews, obviously. Skyforce 10 is going to be over the fire in just a second. We have 2 crews that have responded to this. We're still waiting to hear from the refinery itself to figure out exactly what is causing these explosions to go off, and if anyone is injured in the situation. There's still a lot that we have to find out about what actually caused this, but you can see still a very active fire, very active situation there.
Hey, Tony, are you still on the air with us?
Yes, I am.
Tony, have you heard fire crews at all? Have you heard sirens since you're in the area?
Yeah, Yeah, just before you took me on air, there was a couple fire engines that were headed down Penrose Avenue over to obviously the bridge to get over there.
Tony, we're looking at pictures that you sent us, and we're showing them on live television right now. We can see the huge black and gray plumes of smoke emanating from this fire, and I'm looking at it, and I'm guessing you probably took these pictures from your rooftop or from your deck or something.
Basically out the bedroom window.
Incredible. Incredible. Has this, obviously nothing like this has ever happened, but are they pretty much a quiet neighbor, Tony? Is there any ever kind of concern that you have living so close to this refinery?
Honestly, no. When I initially purchased, I was a little worried about pollution, things like that, but looking at all the studies and just the distance, although it does appear I'm pretty close, we're obviously still a safe distance away, and I've never had any issue with any smells or anything else, any other concerns living down here.
Wow.
Tony, can you smell anything outside of your window, and have you gotten any notice, anybody knocked on your door, evacuation orders, anything of that nature?
No notice yet. There's another fire truck on the way. There's obviously a few neighbors up and actually walking around the neighborhood right now. I haven't been outside to talk to any yet, but yeah, definitely a little concern. There's people coming out snapping pictures of the sky and heading back to their homes.
And an important thought to have in that situation, Tony, when people are walking around outside, we don't know what kind of chemicals are being burned off right now. There are a lot of things to consider as far as the safety of the situation. We have yet to hear from the fire department or hazmat crews. They're clearly responding to this. But as far as any kind of safety alerts, we have yet to learn these things to be able to pass on to our viewers. I can tell you, as I'm doing a little bit of research, that Philadelphia Energy Solutions actually was planning on filing for bankruptcy just last year, and the people that are posting pictures left and right on Twitter right now, they're saying it's the biggest fire they've ever seen. A lot of people are expressing that they're very concerned. This is video now from our photographer Pete Kane, who's out on, let's see, which section of the refinery would this be, guys? From where is this point of view, Pete Kane's camera right here? It looks like the backside of the refinery right there, but it is a very active fire. You can see the engines are pulling up as we speak. So once again, we were able to see this from our camera. The fire started just before 4 a.m. From what we could see, but fire engines are still arriving on the scene, and hazmat crews are arriving as well.
Clearly, they're calling on firehouses all across the area. This is a lot of hands will be required to bring this fire down and control it, and this is going to be something that we're going to see probably throughout the remainder of this day and maybe into the weekend, Lucy. It's troubling, and this is just remarkable to see this.
Absolutely. Matt DeLucia, tell us any closures to add on to the list.
Right. So we just found out that 76 eastbound Schuylkill Expressway between...
Say that again for us.
Yeah, so this is the Schuylkill Expressway eastbound between Grays Ferry and the Walt Whitman Bridge closed right now. So we do have a camera shot where we can see the Schuylkill Expressway at Passyunk Avenue by the Passyunk Avenue Bridge. That is closed. We see a lot of police and fire crews that are out there right now. Let me go back to that shot right here where you can see 76 East is backed up right now and closed off. So all of that traffic is being forced to exit around to 95 by the sports complex area. So this is going to be a big problem getting into the morning rush. 26 and Penrose Avenue, we just saw a bunch of fire trucks going up over the Platte Bridge here. We hear that there could be a closure there as well. Basically, avoid this entire area right now. We're going to go to the maps right now. So right here you can see that closure on 76 eastbound from Grays Ferry all the way down to the Walt Whitman Bridge. Also part of the Platte Bridge we are expecting to be shut down as well because of this fire over here at the refinery. So southwest Philadelphia, this is a spot to avoid. You want to get around this area right now because the police and fire crews are going to need that time and access to get through that area. And if we go back to this shot right here, again, you can see the emergency crews. Here's another one going up over the Platte Bridge right now. over toward the Philadelphia International Airport. We're also checking to see how this is affecting flights. It's still a bit early right now, so most of the flights start going about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to be checking with Philadelphia International Airport to see if this is having any impact right now. Of course, you should always check the status of your flight before you head out the door, but we are seeing a lot of activity right now, and we're going to be keeping our eye on this traffic situation throughout the morning.
I know you're going to help us out with the detours as well, Matt, but this is literally not just the neighbor's worst nightmare for this refinery situation, but this is how these refineries lose their licenses to operate. And you can see, Vi, I know you're doing your own research here. They've been headquartered in Philadelphia for a long time. And from what I'm seeing, there hasn't been a fire or an explosion of this magnitude in Philadelphia. So we keep getting reports from you via Twitter. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. You know, that it rattled your house. Things started to fall off the walls. Our own Vice President of News here, Anzio Williams, saying that the second explosion made things fall off of his walls within his home as well. People in Pennsylvania, Jersey, they could hear it and feel it. We could see it here from Center City. The smoke we could see in Center City as well, and we could feel it. Bill Henley says that it took about 15 seconds or so from the time of the second explosion for us to feel it here.
Yeah. It'll just give you some perspective of how much oil goes through this refinery. This is, by the way, the largest oil refining complex on the eastern United States, along the U.S. eastern seaboard. So this is a massive operation. Most of us who live in, obviously all of us who live in the area,
right,
you know, recognize what a huge complex this is. They run 335,000 barrels of crude oil is processed through this facility every day.
Incredible.
Every day, 335,000 barrels of crude oil come through this area for in the refining process. So this is not a small operation, as we all know,
No.
Anybody who's driven through that area, and most of us have. This is
Okay, we're going to go to our photographer, Pete Kane, now, he's on the fire. He's on the scene right now. Pete, what do you see? What have you heard?
Well, I heard the explosion. I was sitting over in Westville over at the flood scene from yesterday, and 2 loud explosions came, and I walked over to the officer sitting there, and he went to go check it out, and then my assignment desk called and told me that was the Sunoco refinery. And from 10 miles away, I could see the glow of red. Right now, I'm at the entrance to the Sunoco refinery, and as you can see, fire vehicles are still going in to the refinery here. I mean, they're coming in. A dozen have already gone in, and you have more fire units coming in here. And this is huge. This is unbelievable.
Pete, from where you're standing, what's the closest neighborhood to this? Where are you standing right now? Who are the people that live closest to where you are, to that section of the refinery?
I'm at the base of the Penrose Bridge that they just shut down just after I came over here. So right now they shut the entrance down to the Penrose Bridge because that's where most of your first responders are headed from. And as you can see, that's a half dozen units there. There are probably about 20 vehicles already on the site here, and there are more coming. You can see the glow of the refinery. I'm at a distance away. I mean, I'm at the entrance to the refinery here, but this is huge. There's still more units coming in.
These kinds of events, of course, draw people. People are coming out of their homes, and I'm just wondering. We don't see any people there. We hope that they, you know, that probably the safe thing to do is to stay inside your home. The air quality is not going to be great there. Obviously, in fact, probably dangerous. So, just give us again a perspective of what you saw as you were making your way there. Are there people out on the streets? Are there people driving around? I see. Probably those are. First responders. I see a guy there walking by the fire truck, but otherwise, are you seeing people out in the streets at all, Pete?
No, where I am right now, there are no vehicles or people on the street here. This is mostly the refinery area where this is as you approach the Penrose Bridge. And a lot of that smoke looks like it's going over towards southwest Philly in that area there. So people may be outside over there, but where I am right now, there are no pedestrians or motorists. Philly police stopped all of motorist traffic heading to the Penrose Bridge just as I got through. So there are no pedestrians out here right now.
Okay. You know, the last time that I could find...
Bridge...
Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
The Penrose Bridge is still open coming from the airport, but going to the airport is shut down. They're coming off the bridge from the airport, but as they're approaching from 76, they cannot enter the Penrose Bridge to head towards the airport.
You've been with our station for decades, and I know that what I can see in our research here, the last time something like this happened at a Sunoco refinery was back in 2009, but it still doesn't feel like it was as big as this one is. That refinery is the one that straddles in Pennsylvania in Delaware. Compare this to what you have seen in the past with these type of situations.
Well, Lucy, every time you come to these refineries, it's unpredictable because the amount of fuels is here. I was around when the firefighters were killed at the refinery and when Rizzle was hurt. Every time it's unpredictable because you don't know how big it's going to get, whether they can contain it from spreading. So this is huge. I mean, from when I was coming to Walt Whitman Bridge, I just started praying because, I know what it's like. And I'm hearing explosions right now. The explosions are still going off in the refinery down here. And it's just so unpredictable, from the amount of fuel here.
Stay safe out there, Pete. I can tell you, from covering these things in the past, the air quality is going to be an issue. Once again, we have not heard from hazmat officials just yet. They're clearly focused on this. But from covering these things in the past, if you have some sort of breathing issue, if your child has some sort of breathing issue, do not go outside. This is going to impact people that have respiratory issues, without a doubt, just from the previous, concerns and cautions that they have told people to take in the past. So stay safe out there, Pete Kane. We're going to be right back. We're going to stay right on this for you.
It is 4:45 on this Friday morning, and we come to air this morning with breaking news of a refinery fire. This is in southwest Philadelphia. This is the area that most people in the area know as the Sunoco refining area. It's now the Energy Solutions refinery, but a massive fire that started, we think, about 4 o'clock this morning. We came on TV about that time, and already we were getting phone calls from people, and people were contacting us, letting us know that they had seen this explosion or heard the explosion.
That's right.
And then another one went off about roughly 4:24.
4:24, 4:25. We were literally on the air with you, and we saw this huge mushroom cloud. Let's see if we can take it right now. This was the moment, guys. There it is. And people that we're hearing from, one caller that was actually on the Platte Bridge when that mushroom cloud happened right there.
Wow.
Said he was way too shaken up to talk to us on air. He's afraid that he lost friends in that moment. He says that he believes the fire, the flames, actually touched the bridge from the heat that he could feel. So we have his number. We're going to keep in touch with him. Once again, he was too shaken up to be able to share on the air, so he passed it on to us, and this is what we're doing. So make sure that you check in with the people that you believe live closely to that area, who worked there, but this person was very concerned that he lost friends in that moment. A lot of shutdowns are happening right now. 76 is impacted, 95 is impacted. The locomotive, apparently this exact caller that I'm quoting, he saw the train being stopped as well.
In Chester.
In Chester. And Matt DeLucia has been watching all of the rerouting that's happening, the backups that are starting to happen at a time in the morning that's usually peaceful for the most part.
Yeah, usually we're only seeing construction at this hour right now, and now we have a lot going on.
Go ahead,
We have
Matt.
a lot going on at the moment right now. So we have the Schuylkill Expressway eastbound is closed right now at Gray's Ferry. So I don't know if we could show that picture right here where we can see from this camera angle that we have a long line of cars here just past South Street, backed up all the way here. So normally we don't see a lot of traffic out here with the exception of a usual crash here and there. But now we have all this eastbound traffic getting off at Gray's Ferry. So the Schuylkill Expressway eastbound is closed between Gray's Ferry and the Walt Whitman Bridge. So that entire area of southwest Philadelphia and South Philadelphia, all these folks who want to head perhaps to New Jersey, take the Ben Franklin Bridge as an alternate there. I'm reading some of the other closures here from PennDOT here. Passyunk Avenue is closed southbound between 76 and 61st Street. Also, we have Passyunk Avenue northbound between 61st and 28th Street. Also closed right now. So I have another camera angle here where I have 4 pictures up at the same time here. This right here is at 26 and Penrose here, right by the Platte Bridge. So traffic is still getting over here right now. This is the Platte Bridge at the midspan right now. So traffic is still getting by right now. We had heard earlier that there was a possibility they may have to close the Platte Bridge, so just be aware of that. But for now, it is still open. Right here, you're looking at the Schuylkill Expressway, right at Passyunk Avenue, right by that Passyunk Avenue Bridge, where it is all blocked off. So any of that traffic coming off, perhaps Grays Ferry, they are being diverted off onto 95 near the sports complex. So again, we are watching all of our cameras right now, multiple angles of this at this point. But yeah, if you have to get into the area of South Philly or Southwest Philadelphia, avoid that at the moment. Right now, I'm going to send it over to Bill Henley right now.
Yeah, Matt, I'm watching that fire. This is from our camera at Philadelphia International. You could see it is glowing fire right now. And this is what we saw to begin with, and then we saw that huge explosion. Right now, Philadelphia International is in the neighborhood. Obviously, we're looking at it from that camera. The winds are out of the southwest at 10 miles an hour, and that is blowing whatever is burning towards South Philadelphia. And we do have a few spotty...
As you know, this fire is going to be burning for a while, from what we can see here. 2 explosions, one that we witnessed live on the air. If you're from here, if you're local, if you've been here long enough, you call it the Sunoco refinery plant. If you hear us call it the Philadelphia Energy Solutions, it's because it's under new ownership. That's its official name. But people from here, they know this as the Sunoco refinery. And as our photographer, Pete Kane, said, this is epic, that he has not ever seen anything like this in his decades of covering news here.
Yeah, this complex has been in existence for like 150 years. So it's, as you mentioned, Lucy, it's been there for a long, long time. People are familiar with this area. They're familiar with this, with the fact that there's 335,000 gallons of crude oil that come through this area. It's the largest refining refinery along the eastern seaboard. So this is a very, very serious matter. We'll continue to keep our eye on this and monitor the situation. We'll be talking to experts who can give us an update on this situation when we come right back. Stay with us.
NBC 10 News is sponsored by Empire. Today, we make getting beautiful new floors easy.
We're following breaking news this morning. It's just a few minutes before 5 a.m. on this Friday, and this is a refinery fire in southwest Philadelphia, the area that most people know as the Sunoco refinery. It's under new management now. It is the Energy Solutions. Nonetheless, this fire has been there ongoing for the better part of an hour. Our NBC 10 reporter, Miguel Martinez-Valle, is standing by live in the staging area. Miguel, tell us what you're seeing. Tell us what's happening.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we're here on Broad and Patterson. You can see the flames from Philadelphia Energy Solutions refinery behind me there, sending smoke up into the air. But I can tell you this is as close as police are letting any of us get. And it's not just media crews that they're stopping here on the corner of Broad and Patterson, but also any cars that are trying to go in this direction. They are putting a stop to them right here because they want to make sure they're clearing the ways for as many emergency responders as possible. You can see police there. They have a few cars that are trying to turn left here to go towards southwest Philadelphia that are going to have to go around or find other ways if police even let them get that close. We also know that 76 is closed, Interstate 76. So those are some ways that police are trying to make sure that emergency crews can get to that fire as soon as possible to try to put it out and also to make sure that everyone stays safe in the area. You can see that it's burning pretty intensely. They're sending a lot of smoke into the ground, and I can tell you that coming down to South Philly, you can kind of feel some of that air quality change a little bit from Center City, where I started off this morning, just driving down south on Broad. Of course, the lighter it gets out, the more that we'll be able to see how much of a difference the smoke going up into the air is actually making. But again, this is one of the areas where police are putting a stop to traffic and staging us, and we'll be up with them and trying to get more information as we're out here this morning. But for now, I'll send it back to you. I'm Miguel Martinez-Valle on South Broad and Patterson.
All right, Miguel, so we saw one of those explosions live on the air at around 4:24, 4:25, around there. We're hearing reports of 3 total explosions at this point. In that staging area, Miguel, are there any family members or any people showing up trying to learn about what's going on, or is it just the media at this point?
So as of right now, it's just us. Police we got here pretty quickly after those explosions happened. No family members, and we might still be a little farther away from that, but we are right next to FDR Park, so if we start seeing people, we'll definitely, make sure that they're doing okay, but as of right now, no family members to be seen in the area.
All right, Miguel, thank you very much. We'll continue to go back to Miguel, and our other team of reporters are on their way there. Some are already there, and we'll check in with them throughout the morning. A very serious fire, although it looks to me, just by quick glance, that...
Yeah, for sure. This is very mild compared to what we've been seeing all morning long. So hopefully, we saw Pete Kane talking about countless crews driving into the refinery at this point. So as soon as we get more information as to what they were able to find or a cause of the fire, we will get it to you right away.